children. We'd give them the world if we could, a goal easily accomplished for this 1.5-year-old. Easy because right now there's nothing more fun in her world than her music-playing baby doll.
We put on our costumes. It's time to trick or treat.
And of course, spending time with her Nana.
You see that? Wow. Let's see if we can see some more.
Nana's always teaching.
Pumpkins. 1, 2. Show me where the...
At this age, our brain is just beginning to use the body's 5 senses to record all that's around us. Taste, touch, smell, our sense of sound, and sight are the 5 means by which we take on this big world around us. And of course, when they fall, we want to help them right back up. We'd like now to show you another special little girl, Lisa Maria, age 3 months, an age when she too has a world full of opportunity ahead of her. And this is her dad, Gregory Martinez. The year was 1983, and he was an ex-Marine with all the strength and toughness that goes with that territory. Yet no matter how tough, all fathers have a special place in their heart for their daughter's well-being. Lisa Marie's papi was no different. That's why it was so frustrating for this Marine. His daughter lay helpless in a hospital bed, and he could do nothing more than pray for her well-being. His prayers were partially answered. However,
and after a while it started affecting her eyes, and that's how she became visually impaired. She became blind because of the Stevens-Johnson syndrome.
His daughter had now lost maybe the most important of her 5 senses, a situation that can happen to any of us. She was now part of the blind community.
Okay, Elaine, forward. Good girl.
Which brings us to Yvette Lee, the director of the San Diego Blind Community Center. Unlike Lisa Maria, Lee was blind from birth and makes a living helping those who are blind. And she was kind enough to speak to us about one of her students, a recently blind student.
You know, a lot of people didn't want to necessarily join this community, let's face it. And now she's here whether she wants to be or not, and she's going to find out that, hey, this is the reality. And I know it's going to be tough for her. It's quite different for someone like me who's been born blind all my life. I know what my limitations are. I know that, okay, if I'm going to get somewhere via public transit, I know I'm going to have to plan for it.
This is Randy George of the San Diego Blind Institute. He also teaches those who are blind, recently blind, or considered visually impaired.
I would rather have had it gone my entire life than to have lost it as an adult. That would be a very big hurdle for me personally to overcome. Now I see people do it on a daily basis, and it's just so inspiring because, you know, that's such a major sense to lose.
And you want the next, you want the very next opening, right?
So back to Greg. His daughter had lost her eyesight to Stevens-Johnson syndrome. And yes, he wanted to help her right back up. But how? You see, she joined a community that no one wants to be a part of. And though hard for kids to imagine, all parents are painfully aware that they won't be around forever, and that someday their child will have to stand on their own 2 feet. But what does a dad do in that situation?
We started a judo club.
Lisa Maria, go keep
Yes, all right.
It was Paul Sassori Judo Club, and basically it was all blind, and their siblings, their brothers and sisters. It was funny because there was 6 different matches going at the same time. Everybody who were at the different matches, except the competitors, came over just to watch her compete. And about winning that match and throwing that girl to the floor, everybody just was amazed what this young girl did. And she took the bronze medal at the national championship.
And you might say that our little Lisa Maria, now 26, has had more than a little success. You see, Lisa has done more blind than most of us have as sighted people. Her passion for traveling and learning about different cultures is immense. She's traveled the world and all over the U.S. She's attained her master's degree. She's now teaching other blind folks how to survive in this mostly sighted world. She helps those that are going blind or with night vision problems, as well as those like herself who can still make out some shapes and colors.
I mean, I have more memories of growing up as a blind kid, you know, as I got older, like throughout elementary school and junior high and stuff.
She's grown up to be a good human being with a wicked sense of humor. So that's why we had our Blind for a Day volunteer, Vince Tagle, get in the car with her, and she's the one behind the steering wheel.
Interviewee chair.
By the way, I'm Lisa Maria, and I just happen to be blind.
Lisa, you gonna let her drive, dude? What's that? You gonna let her drive? You don't mind? I don't
You're
mind.
totally cool with a legally blind driver?
Yes, I am.
In that case, Lisa, just go forward about 5 feet and hang a left.
As a newbie to the blind world, it's best to use this because you're gonna, you know, if you encounter anything, you don't have that finesse yet.